Okay, so part 3 of this video is basically just frequently asked questions that I get. Also, just typical and basic tips to keep your natural hair healthy and to make sure that it grows. Just basic tips that both transitioning females and also color treated females can use. It's just a general, basic tips on how to keep your natural hair strong and healthy and make sure that it grows. So, tip 1 is definitely to trim your ends. Now, this tip is general for anybody who has hair, period. If you want your hair to grow, whether it's relaxed, colored, natural, or a combination of both or the three, you need to clip your ends, because if you don't clip your ends, then that allows split ends and dead hair to remain on your hair shaft, and basically your hair will not grow further past that point if you don't cut it. So I'm constantly getting trims. I get trims every 6 months. If not every 6 months, then every 3 months. If not every 3 months, then just whenever I feel like snipping it or whenever I see split ends. It's kind of hard to determine split ends on natural hair, because some people decide to wear their hair curly when it's natural, so it's kind of hard to determine if your hair is just curled or if it's like split ends. So basically what I do is I just let a professional do it, because I am not good at hair. But when I just feel like, just basically just snipping and get out of the way, I just randomly just cut ends off. I'll probably do a video on how I randomly trim my hair, although that probably won't be smart because I am not a professional and I don't want people hitting me up and getting mad at me. So we'll see if I do how I trim my hair. But I barely trim my hair. Like, I only did it like twice. Like yesterday I did it for the second time. I only do it twice, and that's only because I don't really care about cutting it even. I just want to cut the ends just because it needs to be cut. So I'm no professional. So I probably won't post a video up, because you probably shouldn't be listening to me about trimming and cutting hair, because I do makeup, I don't do hair. So I digress though. But basically, tip 1, trim your hair. Make sure that all of those dead nasty ends are cut. In order for your hair to grow, it needs to be cut sometimes, and it's not like a big difference. Like, you won't see a difference in your hair at all depending on how it's cut. But just trim it. So that's tip 1. Tip 2 is to keep your hair moisturized. In the second part of this video, the one previous for the color treated natural hair women, I told you that I deep condition my hair all the time in a hot oil treatment, and those definitely help my hair to grow and help it stay strong and healthy. This is a general tip for those who are not only have colored natural hair, but just basically natural hair that's not colored. Deep conditioning it and hot oil treating it is definitely a good tip. Now, you don't have to do it as much as the ladies should do it who have color treated hair, but you definitely still do it. And like I said before, I will post videos on how I do those tutorials on how I deep condition and hot oil treat my hair later. So step 1 is trim your hair, and step 2 is to deep condition and moisturize your hair. Step 3 is to refrain from heat as much as possible, and when you do use heat, make sure your hair is protected. A lot of people do not invest in heat protectants because they feel as though the hair is just strong enough for heat. Now, while some people's hair is like that, others aren't. And for those who are definitely seeing a lot of breakage in their hair, it could be because you're not protecting your hair when you put heat on it. When I apply heat on my hair at any time, I always use a heat protectant, and I always make sure that I extra deep condition my hair before I put, sorry, my phone's ringing. I make sure I definitely extra deep condition and put a heat protectant on my hair before I apply heat, because your hair basically just needs that kind of protection from the heat, because your hair is not used to heat since you are natural. Now, I could be wrong. Now, there are natural hair women who straighten and flat iron their hair every day, but I am not one of those women. So whenever my hair gets heat put on it, it's always like, what are you doing? So you got to make sure that you put heat protector on it. So that's step 3. to protect your hair and to use as little heat as possible. So if you do use heat, make sure you protect your hair. That's step 3. So step 1 is to trim your hair. Step 2 is to condition and keep your hair moisturized. And step 3 is to protect your hair from heat. Step 4 is to basically tie your hair up at night. Just because you're natural does not mean that you can just sleep all willy-nilly and not tie up your hair. You have to tie up your hair just like you used to when you used to get them doobies and you used to patch your hair when your hair was itching before you got a perm. You have to tie up your hair too, except you do it differently. Instead of wrapping your hair like permed people do, you basically 2-strand twist it and then put a scarf on it. But nonetheless, do not go to sleep without a scarf on, because you go through a lot when you're sleeping. Like, you're tossing and turning, and even if you sit still when you sleep, your hair is still being, like, beat up by your pillow. So, you know, it is best that you protect it from that by tying it up. So just because you're natural does not mean that you do not need to tie up your hair and get a scarf. Okay, where's my scarf? I'm trying to show y'all my scarf. Hold on a minute. This is my scarf. Basically a do-rag joint. And those who are my friends have definitely seen me wear this more than once. And I tie my hair up every night. Even if I'm going to wear my 2-strand twist for more than a day, because sometimes your curls can last more than a day, I still put this bad boy on. I do not sleep without my hair protected. Tie up your hair every night. That's messing up my fabulosity. Boom. Okay? And you just fluff it out and you go. So tie your hair up every night. That is step, I believe that's 4. Okay, so step 1, trim your hair. Step 2, moisturize, condition your hair. Step 3 is to use as little heat as possible, but if you use heat, then protect your hair with some type of heat protectant or conditioner. And step 4 is to tie your hair up at night. Okay, and step 5, okay, step 5 is very important. Okay, I wouldn't say it's more important than the first 4, but it's definitely important. And I will tell you this. Have fun with your natural hair, okay? That is step 5. Everybody who has natural hair always gets confused and they don't know what to do with it, and they have no idea what to do. Oh my goodness, do I just wear it in a fro? Do I lock it up? Have fun with it. Hair is fun. Hair is not something that is serious. Hair is not something that, you know, makes you or breaks you. Have fun with it. Color it. Cut it. Twist it up. You know, have fun with it. Explore different styles from different eras. Just because your hair is not perm does not mean that you can't slick it back and pin it up like, you know, a perm hair person does. Like, you're not subject to not having fun or, you know, trying different styles with your hair just because it has no perm in it. If you feel like you can't have fun with it and you just have to wear it one way, then natural hair is not natural hair. It's not the type of hair for you. You need to have fun with it. Pin it up and, you know, make it look nice. And, you know, maybe you want to do like a front twist back thing. You know, just you know, mix it up. Have fun with it. Dye it different colors, you know, but have fun with your hair because you won't have it for long. What do I mean by that? When you perish, and I do not mean to sound pessimistic, but when you perish, do you think everybody's going to care about how your hair looked before you died? Unless you're some type of, like, you know, trendsetter. But other than that, you only live this life once, so you need to have fun in general. So have fun with your hair. Sheesh. I don't know how many times I get, like the comments from people saying, how do you do your hair, and how, like, you know, like, what can you do with this since it's not permed? Do you have lots of options? I have more options than you do because it's not permed. I can braid it up and get weaves like you can, and, you know, I can straighten it and make it look like it's relaxed, but it's not. Like, just because you have natural hair does not mean that it's a crutch or disability. You have the strength and the power to look just as fabulous as those who have permed hair. But let me say this. I am not knocking those who have relaxed hair. I am not saying that natural hair is better than relaxed hair, because I used to have relaxed hair. But I chose the option to transition from relaxed hair to natural hair. But just because I did does not mean that I still don't have fun and look fabulous and look cute. because some people get it through their heads that just because I have natural hair that I can't be fabulous, and so they're surprised when I show up to places and my hair is different or looks cool, or how they do it like that. Ignorance is bliss, people, and just because you don't look the same way that I do doesn't mean you should be shocked because I look the way I do. But that was mini ranting, and I will stop now. But that is part 3 of the video. Let's go over the 5 tips. Step 1 is to trim your hair. Step 2 is to moisturize and condition your hair. Step 3 is to use as little heat as possible, but if you do, protect it. Step 4 was to, what was step 4, y'all? Tie up your hair. Whew. And step 5 is to have fun with your hair. 5 tips, and you should be gravy, alright? And the definition of gravy is not that delicious brown substance you put on chicken, but it is just good. You good. You gravy. You good, alright? So, I love you all. I hope that these 3 videos have helped you. This has made me want to do a product video. Since I was talking about, you know, all these hydrating and all this other boom heat protecting stuff, I will be making a product video pretty soon. But yeah, that's later on when I get all my products, because I have to buy some more. So I love you all, and I hope this helped you. And if you know, if you need anything, just hit me up on one of my one of my many social network feeds. The Curvy Girl Chronicles is now on Twitter, so you can follow my page and you can leave me tweets and DM messages if you have any questions. So I'm going to leave all that stuff in the box below. So subscribe if you're on YouTube, and I'll put the link to my blog below on YouTube. So follow my blog as well. And I love you guys all. Thanks for all the support, and hope I helped.